future enforcement mechanism. The other part of the ordinance is the private enforcement mechanism, and that is not dependent upon Roe v. Wade being overturned. And what that says, that if an abortion were to happen within the city limits of Gary, then anyone can any family member of the aborted child can sue the abortionist for the death of that child through a private cause of action, a private lawsuit. And so the idea here is this is a two-part deterrent mechanism, that no abortionist is going to want to come into a city and perform an abortion if at a later date he could be fined $2,000. But if he's really confident that Roe v. Wade would never be overturned, well, he's not going to do abortions here anyway, because who wants to go into lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit with every family member who wants to sue them for the death of a child? And we're talking about a grandmother could sue for the death of her grandbaby. A father could sue for the death of his son. Now, who's he suing? He's suing the abortionist. That the abortionist is the one that this really penalizes. And so we do not want abortionists in our cities. And we have had a ton of people from the city of Gary write in and express, they've signed the online petition saying that they want to make sure that their city is safe. We're about to roll out county ordinances. And the way that county ordinances work is county ordinances take care of all of the unincorporated areas of the county. That does not include cities. If Panola County were to pass a sanctuary county for the unborn ordinance, then the only places that would be safe from an abortion clinic setting up shop in would be the unincorporated areas. And so that would make the cities that don't pass this a helicopter landing pad for the abortion industry. And so what we want to do is we want to see every city in Panola County pass this ordinance, and we also want to see the counties pass a county version of this ordinance that mimics this. And that way we can make sure that in the entire county, an abortion clinic couldn't come here. Now, a little bit about this ordinance as far as the drafting of it. The Senator Brian Hughes was very involved in connecting me with the person who did the ultimate version of this. And so Senator Brian Hughes was involved in this, plus the other attorney who has held a high office here in the state of Texas and has worked with President Trump. He was a law clerk for Scalia. He's been quoted in court opinions by Alito and Thomas. A brilliant mind. And he's been before the Supreme Court many times. And he is very confident that if anything were to happen, that this right here would withstand a challenge. And because this is something that is in your right to do. Y'all have an obligation to protect the health and welfare of your residents. And so this is something that we all know, that abortion is a horrible thing. It causes a lot of pain and suffering and heartache. It hurts people. It hurts little people, but it also hurts women. Me and Amy have a friend who committed suicide not too long ago. Just really grieved over her abortion. And she was a very strong lady, strong Christian lady. There's no doubt in my mind that she's with Christ right now. But abortion is a holocaust in our country. Over 200 congressional leaders recently signed an amicus brief in the Hope Medical case, which is, Hope Medical is the abortion facility in Shreveport that kills about 100 babies every week, about 20 on Tuesdays, about 30 on Thursdays, and about 50 on Saturdays. And over 200 congressional leaders signed a brief in that court case asking the Supreme Court to review and overturn Roe v. Wade. And those leaders were great leaders like John Cornyn and Ted Cruz and John Ratcliffe and Louis Gohmert. And they're behind this idea that we've got to get rid of the Holocaust in our day. And so this is an opportunity for us to rise up as cities and do what's right and make sure to join the growing numbers of cities that are saying, look, this isn't going to happen in our city. And you've probably heard about what happened in Carthage someone from Fort Worth came to Carthage saying, we want to provide abortion services in Carthage. Guys, it's going to happen. And the places in Shreveport, even if they didn't come this way, if abortion is shut down in Louisiana, then we're going to see the abortion industry in the Dallas area shift to East Texas because they're looking to service a 200-mile radius. East Texas is going to be servicing everyone between Dallas and Jackson, Mississippi, if that's the case, because we're now going to be the center point because Louisiana will be out of the picture. And so I'm encouraging you today to the passage that there's two passages that have really driven me in this whole endeavor. And that is Amos 5:15, which says to hate evil, love good, and establish justice in the city gates. And perhaps the Lord, the God of hosts, will be gracious to the remnant of Joseph. We started with prayer. Every council meeting that I've been at has started with prayer. And we ask God for us to do what is right in His eyes, for Him to bless our actions. And there's this responsibility to make righteous decrees, to protect our cities. And if we want the blessing of God, we've got to follow His will. We've got to do what is right in His eyes. And that's a calling that we all have. The other passage that really drives me in this is, I say this outside of the abortion clinic all the time, and we just had a baby that was saved from the abortion clinic. He was born just a few nights ago, baby Everett Chase. And he's going to be a Dallas Cowboy player. And I already can see, like, there's a picture of him, and he's doing the dab. And I'm just like, yep, that's a football player. Like, I can see it, and I can't wait to watch him play football one day. I'm going to, buy him a football, and I'm going to, get an autograph by the Dallas Cowboys, like, when they get, they got a new coach now, so I'm looking forward to that. And, but...
Dallas? Really?
Well, if it's college football, it would have to be A&M. So, definitely not the Longhorns. But the whole, and I got to say this, just small little joke here. So, the A&M is the Lord's team, I just got to say. And you know why we know A&M is the Lord's team? Because the Longhorns, they have longhorns